assess it?
Well, I didn't know you would start with that question, but let me again reiterate certain facts, and I want to be held to account by them. And I've said it severally, nobody in Nigeria has done a playback on me that I said this 10 years ago, 5 years ago, 3 years ago, last year, and I'm saying something new. Let me equally tell you that I am not a member of the APC. No, I'm not a member of the APC, and I will never be a member of the APC. And let me equally tell you, service in this country or to this country or to humanity, you don't have to be in any office. So, I am saying it again here that Nigeria is the most important entity in the system. And anybody who wishes us well will recall severally that I've said, I shall continue to say the truth, bear my mind on issues that will turn around our country and that will keep our leaders on their toes, on their feet, to be able to do what is right for our country. So going by your question, Asiwaju has spent 2 months in office. Let us first of all be very clear with ourselves. There's no magician. Even Jesus says certain things cannot happen. Certain miracles will never happen without prayer and fasting. Long suffering. Because certain things had gone demonic in certain situations. Our country, as of today, is fairly suppressed, deprived, and I don't want to use demonic because things are not right. There is no man, I don't know if there are angels who will carry certain messages of God and make them happen now, who can repair this our country in 8 years. But what is important is that we want to see a progressive, very clear progressive must be seen of an effort to turn around situation of things. The next one is this. I saw dollar going up. I'm not going to watch a brief for Asiwaju, but if he does the wrong thing, I will come in this station to say it. After I might have sent a message to him to watch this. I'm not a member of his party, but I will be able to be courageous enough to say the truth. Now, is that dollar is going up? But may I say to you, in these 2 months, is Asiwaju Ahmed Bola Tinubu manufacturing dollar? No. Things like this have to take a process. One good thing is I've seen him beyond the physical. He's not blaming anybody for the past. With all respect, when President Buhari became president, up till the end of, almost the end of his second tenure, he was still blaming Jonathan. The past administration, the PDP, under Yar'Adua, he was still blaming them. This man said, I asked for the job, I campaigned, and I'm going to serve. Don't pity me. And I want to tell you, he's doing the job. These 2 months is not enough to assess anybody. Critical decisions has been taken. Fallout of those decisions were expected. Whether maybe Asiwaju is a miracle worker, I need a miracle. But I know it's not a miracle worker. He's going to walk the path through the roads to ensure that Nigeria is repositioned. Obasanjo left this country, whatever you say about him, left this country with close to about 50 billion foreign reserve. Obasanjo will not stop there. He cleared our debts. Today, even the SS crude account totally depleted. Nothing is supporting Nigeria spendings in dollar. Maybe Nigerians don't know. It is when you have certain levels of foreign reserve that can support the spending, your card spending, the credibility of your currency and all that. Where is the foreign reserve? Badly depleted. Secondly, average Nigerian likes imported things. What are we manufacturing? So expecting Asiwaju to now turn the dollar, because when you merge the existing two different foreign how do I put this one? There is a 420 or 413 dollar rate. There's another one in the black market. Imagine these two has caused this problem of increase in dollar. And it takes time to stabilize them because we were living in deceit of the truth before now when Emefiele was there. So things will come back over time. It first of all gets bad before it gets good. When you are in a flight, you have turbulence. That turbulence does not say the plane is going to crash. After a while, it gets better. And I believe that with the way it's going. Another thing about demand that I've noticed is that it's part of every decision. Not the one they will say, Baba Sokwe. Nobody has said Baba Asiwaju Sokwe now. Every day, you see the president being part of every decision. When I was governor of Ekiti, I don't send people. I am there myself. Everything I take responsibility. So I want to assure you that it is 2 months of hope, great hope, but without denying that it's not been easy for the average Nigerian. But you cannot but go through this turbulence to get things stabilized over time.
All right. So, Your Excellency, before we get into the crux of our discussion tonight, I would like you to react to the caliber of ministerial nominees already screened by the Senate. What do you make of that list?
Well, like I said, Asiwaju is not a magician. You cannot equally say what your son would do or what your daughter would do or what your wife sometimes would do. The only person I believe in largely, if we say stand in for somebody, I will only stand in for my wife. My son will stand in for his own wife too, because my wife will be the only woman in this world that has publicly changed her name to my name. So I take responsibility. So let me come back to, maybe it was on Channels Television a few weeks ago. I said I brought some suggestions. I don't know whether he took those suggestions that made what decisions he took manifest and great and impressive like this. One, I said let us have the old order, the old cargo. I'm a former governor, I'm a former ally of Asiwaju, I'm a former this. Let them be only 40%. Let women be about 30%. Let youth be about 30%. And you see, I went with my friend for the screening, Governor Wike. Will you say Governor Wike is not a good material? He's not a member of APCO. Who in Nigeria? Governor Wike commissioned projects almost every other day in the 8 years of his administration. If they give Wike any assignment, Nigeria can go to bed. Let us go a little further. I'm not somebody that come and watch brief for anybody. When you look at the young people Asiwaju put in office, nominated, there's a gentleman, I met him only once in my life, Bumi Ojo from Ondo State. Go and look at the CV. Go and look at the CV. Go and look at this other person, the Adelabu, who was in CBN before. Let us go a little further. Look at the women. The lady from Abia, fantastic. Look at her CV. Look at the lady from Delta. Look at the lady from, Imo? I looked at them very closely. Except we want him to go and open the stomach of a lot of people and know what is inside them. So far, so good. Look at this gentleman, Zach, the SA on revenue. That guy is a genius. His brain, a genius. I don't know how he actually thought of it to bring that guy up. So, and that guy is about 40 years. So, I think the man, nobody has done such employment. I remember Jonathan bringing up Nweke Jr. at some point, or Obasanjo. Look at the guys that they put online. Look at Iwike. Look at these guys. Okay, look at the former governors. Look at the governor of Ebonyi. That man is an embodiment of performance. Governor of Ebonyi. Go to Ebonyi. I was there myself. They didn't tell me. And let us be sincere with ourselves. This government has taken off well.
All right. So, I mean, the administration is facing its first litmus test with Organised Labour, who embarked on nationwide protest over petrol subsidy removal. What's your reaction to this development?
They are jesters. Labour, they are jesters. With all respect to them. You know, first question you will ask. Somebody came to office in 2 months. No minister yet. What do you expect of him? How many, even when Buhari was there, Buhari doesn't even listen to anybody. How many strikes did they carried out when Buhari was there? Majority of them were more than scared to even come out. You will now see pro-Buhari labor unions, members. It is funny. Why did they now stop? Why did they not continue? They said they went to see the president. Why are they not seeing the president? What has changed overnight within 24 hours that made them stop? They are jesters. They are only suffering innocent Nigerians. We must hold Asiwaju to account, or we must allow him time. Buhari did not put subsidy in the budget. Let us say Asiwaju did not even cancel it. I mean, did not make that pronouncement. How will he fund it? Not putting it in the budget is just a pronouncement that is just to be added. We should stop playing to the gallery. If they want to seek relevance, let them seek it decently. I have no objection when the government starts doing well. You must go for the government and keep them on their toes. But not okay. Atiku, Asiwaju, and Obi said, we will remove subsidy. So, please, what has gone wrong? Who is lying? So, Trump said, I will do this, I will stop immigrants, and he was doing it. Asiwaju said, I will stop subsidy. Atiku said, I will stop. He said, I will stop. So where is this problem coming from? You say I did not put something to mitigate the suffering. The man said, I will do this, create soft loans, SME, so many things reeled out. And the Labour itself were members of Labour Party. Why did they not shout to Bismarck at that time? So, I have respect for everybody, but we have to tell the truth. That was why I've taken time to explain. Asiwaju, I am not among those people coming to hustle. If you don't do the right thing, we will come and, as our kingsman, we will come and tell you, these are what people are saying. That is after giving you enough time. But if you don't equally answer, you will have enough courage to say the truth. You will not die there. Somebody called me when I was criticizing the DSSS by their shameless show at the court. I'm not for Emefiele. Neither am I going to allow to see an agency, DSSS, beating up a sister agency. I will keep quiet. They said, maybe Asiwaju will not like it when I say it. I say, you are a fool. You are a big fool. If you call this time again, I will block you. I'm not a sycophant. I was governor at the same time when Asiwaju was governor in this country. Asiwaju himself took time to criticize governments in government house. So I'm sure Asiwaju is not opposed to being criticized. But our criticism must be constructive, result-oriented. Not just because I don't like Asiwaju's face, so I must insult him. Count me out.
All right. So at the moment, there is ongoing negotiation between Labour and federal government. So why is it taking the parties, too long to reach an agreement?
You see, when you assume office, you can't know it all in 2 months. Like I said to you, it would take a miracle worker to do the extra. Sometimes, I was governor at some point. I know the behavioral attitude of labor. They will know the truth. They will say there are people are pushing them. They just want to do a show. You understand? So let me just assume that, okay, why did they go back to the same meeting they have been going and they had to come out and do a road show? How? So, but I don't want to hit anybody too much. Since they said they've gone back to negotiation, let them remain there. You find out that people are not following them, they're following themselves. People are not following them. Nigerians are not happy that things are very hard. But they understand that this subsidy is a benefit to a few Nigerians because the market forces determines what goes next. So that is the removal of subsidy, is that we are not going to spend our money to go and be giving to few Nigerians who are profiting from this evil. You understand? And they are giving the public stipends. That's it.
All right, so I know you touched on this earlier, so I would like us to go back there. Do you agree with those who describe the position of NLC as largely political?
Totally. Without, look, equity in itself says it all. You can't be a member of another political party. If I were Ajero, I would step aside. I can't openly come out and identify with somebody and also be leading a rally against you. It's an extension of the Labour Party. That's the gospel truth. Don't let us just play. If you don't want this administration to succeed, come out and say you don't want to succeed. This rally, very ill-timed, unpopular. How many times did they strike during Buhari? They went to look into their accounts, all of them, majority of them at the time. They couldn't talk. The FCC went to look at their accounts, showed them paper. Everybody kept quiet.
So you're on the side of those who have said it is really unhealthy. I mean,
it's wrongly timed. It's not the right time for such. After the Tachuaju must be called to account at all times where necessary. But we must not be doing it for political gains or whatever reasons they are doing it. What can anybody do in 2 months? What did Buhari do in 8 years? You see, I tell people certain things. They care to listen. Nigeria belongs to all of us. If we drag it down, we're all being dragged down. If we work hard to support and ensure that we make a success of this country, number one, our generation has overstayed our wants. That is the truth. We have chopped the rights of the young people, double their time. We have chopped it. What I mean by we have chopped it is that in a situation, you will see that it will be impossible in distant future not to find a very young man being president of Nigeria. Because the awareness is huge. So, as it is now, if this man, Asiwaju Ahmed Bola Tinubu, is now hands-on to make Nigeria better, let us cooperate with him. It's not about political party. We've done elections, they've come and gone. I'm not interested in anything anymore. If I'm not contesting, you cannot go and wait for me. If you wait for me, you wait in vain. I don't send you. That's my position.
All right, so let's look at some of the demands by Labour, which include reversing the policy on subsidy removal. How feasible is this?
That is impossible. It's just what we see somebody jambalaying, just running his mouth. Remove what? Why did they not tell Buhari not to put it in the budget? How visible? The money Buhari borrowed, they went to the capital market. They are unforgivable debts. When you go to the capital market to source money, if it's 20 years, you have to pay. It's not a World Bank or such institutions that will say we are forgiving you your debts. It's forever. They took those loans with people's contribution, investing in that bond. So there's nobody that will forgive you that. So will this Asiwaju go and be borrowing money again? How will he do it? So he has to look inwards. And he said, my target is the rich. While I will provide subsidy, cushion the effect of the policies for the poor. So he's targeting recovering, getting money from the rich. When you look at the spread, more than 40%, more than 70% of Nigerians has nothing above 500,000 in their accounts. About 20% has the whole money in the country. The man said, my target is the rich, so that the poor can breathe. When he takes money from the rich now, with the new tax regime, with the extra charges on what the rich knows how to consume, the poor will breathe. And that's what Kwabi was saying, and the National Assembly saying the poor should breathe. It is policy that can make the poor breathe, though. It is policy, and the policy is that tax the rich for the poor to breathe. It's sad things are not easy for Nigerians now, but the truth is that there's no Ajiwaju that can do miracle. They should forget that. I once told somebody, God is not taking certain costs from Nigeria anymore. God is not taking. Look at China, no church, no mosque. In this Nigeria, every house here is church or mosque. Is God deaf? God is not deaf. God is not deaf. The evil is now more than that Nigerian prayer can hold, because majority of the people who pray are even criminals. That's the truth. If it is a sanctimonious relationship between the people and the church on a Sunday, on Monday we should not have crime on the roads. Go ahead.
All right, so I wanted to ask, why do you think it is difficult for NLC and its allies to understand this?
They do. Let us leave this story now. I have been in government. These NLC people, there are two options. It's either, you know what they call drop something? What they call drop something. Maybe Ashwaju is not dropping something. Let me leave it like that. I'm not saying that is the position. No. There is no way Ashwaju cannot manufacture money. Even if it's article there, it cannot manufacture money. Where would they get the money from? What are we exporting?
So another demand by labor is revival of the refineries. Why is it difficult for successive administration to keep these refineries
I don't know. I don't know. But Ashwaju too has said that he will fix Port Harcourt refinery. I hold him to that. Let him hold him to his words. Me, I don't know. I've never been president before. I was only governor of Ekiti, and I did my best. Good luck to my adversaries. I don't send them. I've done my best. So what I'm telling you is that I don't know where Buhari failed, why Jonathan did not fix it. That's not my business. But anybody who says something, we must hold them to account. So, okay, let's leave the past. This man says he will do this, he will do this, he will do this. Let's give him time. It's not the day you marry inside church, you have baby now. Abi, I'm lying. Yeah, a good girl.
All right, so Labour has also argued that against total floating of the Naira in the foreign exchange market. My question is, what do you think, who do you think is right between government and Labour on this particular issue?
Say that again?
Labour argued against total floating of the Naira in the foreign exchange market. So I'm asking, who do you think is right between government and Labour on this issue?
Sincerely, I didn't get that right. I don't understand what you're trying to say. When you are saying floating the Naira, what does that mean? You said floating the Naira.
And that's what Labour is saying, argued against total floating of the Naira in the foreign exchange market.
That is allowing the Naira to determine.
Absolutely. And is it right to have multiple foreign exchange windows?
That is what Ashwaju has done now. He has removed multiple. And he has left it to a situation where the market determines the value of the Naira itself. And measures over time by this new administration, or for instance, any administration, is what will stabilize the Naira. As long as Nigerians still enjoy foreign food, foreign this, foreign that, and we are not generating Naira, dollar, there's no miracle. The problem is with Nigerians, not even the government. A time must come that we must look at, as what you said, is going to take firm steps on power. If power gets better, you will see somebody who is a welder hairdresser, a number of consumptions of diesel will reduce. Without getting power right and a number of things right, SME may not get far. So for me, even if he wants to do otherwise, he can't do it because he has abridged the government price of the dollar and the black market. He has abridged them. And what is left is for Naira to find his level. It's going to be like those days when some people are taking advantage of a system. They want to do something, they get the government rate. We will go and face the black market rate. So let everybody be on the same page. I think that is the best way to go.
All right. President Tinubu has also rolled out some plans for subsidy palliatives. But why do you think they are not enough to assuage the feelings of the workers?
You see, I have said this to you. There is no magician in any man. Don't let anybody come and tell you there's no way Asiwaju or Atiku or Obi will place Nigerians overnight. I'm saying this so that they will not say, he's speaking for Asiwaju. No, any one of them, where we await the outcome of the court, any one of them, there's no magic. Asiwaju is faced with a National Assembly. You can't deny that. Asiwaju is faced with laws, extant laws guiding every situation in the country. He can't do certain things by fiat. That is the truth. So for me, it needs time to be able to put a lot of things in place. So we don't just want manna overnight. It's not going to come. That's the way I see it.
All right. Your Excellency, let's take a break. I've been speaking with the former governor of Ekiti State, Ayodele Fayose, and tonight we're focused on Labour and federal government impasse over petrol subsidy removal. We'll take a break and we'll be right back. Please stay with us. Thank you very much for staying with us. This is Politics Tonight, where we dig beyond the headlines. And I've been speaking with the former governor of Ekiti State, Ayodele Fayose, as we focus on the Labour and federal government impasse over petrol subsidy removal. Your Excellency, let's move on with Fayose. I do apologize, Your Excellency. All right, so Organised Labour said the protest is in the best interest of the masses. I mean, don't you think it could be hijacked if it gets prolonged?
Let me say to you, they never said a warning strike. They gave it publicity, wide publicity of strike has started, war has started, as the impression. You see, they can only justify it by saying, looking for the sympathy of the public to say, we are fighting for you. They want the sympathy of the airport workers. They want the sympathy so that they can lock down the country, so that the government can be at their mercy. That does not work in any nation. It does not work in any nation, especially with a new administration. When I became governor of Ekiti, I met so many challenges, and Labour said they would strike. I tried to explain. When they didn't hear explanation, I leave them, I put them in free. I didn't engage here for them. Because I'm not going to steal. You can only give what you have. And the strategy to get money, if it's put in place, will affect some people. There's no magic. I keep saying this. So they are saying that to get the sympathy of the public. So they know the reason why they are saying inciting the public against the government, why they want that to happen. Not now. Not now. We need a solution now, not strike. Not strike. Everybody in this country must work together with the government of the day so that we can find solution. You understand? So one thing that I noticed why they went back is because they had that they have taken them to court for content. Let me be very honest with you. Because if they've gone to court with content, when court says don't strike, you strike. Whatever comes, take it all. They said they'll bring the whole Nigeria to the court. Let us see.
So do you think the strike would have been successful if there was no injunction?
No. There was an injunction, But they still went ahead to do the rally, which they did yesterday. That's what I'm saying. But there was a subsisting order of a court. So I think the federal government now went to court to say that we are going to take you by contempt for disobeying court order. You know, when you disobey court order, it's jail. And they will hold the executive to it. And maybe they know the implication was why they held back. So maybe I might be wrong.
So let's go back to the president's broadcast some days ago. President Tinubu says government has earmarked 100 billion naira to purchase 3,000 20-seater buses to provide affordable transportation. How far do you think this can go in, solving transportation challenges in the country?
You see, let us be realistic. You used the word palliative. You didn't say the permanent solution. This is palliative. The government can only do things to make life easy for the people, other than not doing at all. So the reality is that when you give palliative, it allows everybody, both the government and the people, to adjust to the realities. That's the truth. So as it is now, the president says there are two things to transportation: the vehicle and the maintenance. And the inputs like petrol, diesel. So when you bring in buses, they will give them those, they may subsidize how they give the buses to drivers' unions. They will subsidize a number of public ones handled by government. They will subsidize it, which will now say if I'm taking a taxi for 400, I can now take it for 200. So in a space of about 2-3 years, it will get better. Government cannot be giving all of us cash to enter transport. That is the only thing they can do. They can take responsibility of maybe 25 or 30% of you to travel on the rail and give directive to the corporation to say, okay, please reduce. Like institutions that have hiked their fee for the students, were advised for the institutions to, for now, don't do that. Those are the things government can do. Government is government. I'm not saying we will still not ask questions at the appropriate time, but the time is, 2 months is too early for anybody to be saying what we are saying. That's my position.
All right. But how workable is the president's promise of 500 billion naira for all year-round farming on 500 hectares of land?
It's possible. The man has earmarked money for it. He only needs the right people in the right places to have them implemented. That's all. There are a lot of light modern equipment that can be brought from abroad to empower individuals. You know, making hips. In places like China now, they've done hips machine, which you can conveniently by yourself use a small machine to put your hips, even by yourself, not by hiring labor. It makes cultivation easier. Instead of using your cows and whatever, as an individual, processing machines are very, very small now, and they're doing the magic. And these are the things we don't have. When you have it, it gets better. Things that can readily make you sieve maize from the shaft. All things are possible, but the average man may not have power to purchase. Unfortunately, too, when they give it to some people, they would rather go and sell. It's common of Yoruba people. Even if they give them a house, they will go and sell the house to Igbo. They will be using one room inside the house. So the first thing is that we must change our attitude. The problem of Nigeria is attitude, not even all these things they are talking about. Our attitude must be right, reasonably patriotic, to be able to live right. When you see the way certain people are behaving on the street, in our highways, it will shock you. Because nobody is holding nobody to account. That's all. Another thing I'm sure you should do is to ensure that people are held to account. A lot of lives are daily wasted, even wasted more than Boko Haram and all that, because of the attitude of our people.
So the president also said 125 billion naira will be allocated to the micro, small and medium-scale enterprises and the informal sector, which are the drivers of economic growth. How feasible is this as well?
It's possible. Everything is A car can go at a reasonable speed and you'll be comfortable. When they're not in the hands of mad handlers, when they're in the hands, good hands, and technologically driven to make sure that the person who is supposed to be the beneficiary of such gets the things, and there's a feedback mechanism. These things works. And the attitude thing, you must equally ensure there will be consequences for people that will mess up with that project. Sometimes it's not about the president, it's the people around him. He must be courageous enough, like, in my opinion, put the people, I'm not saying put me, no. I don't even want something that can close my mouth. If I need anything, I am a former governor, I have reach, I will tell people this. But let us talk about Nigeria. You must recall that cabal destroyed Buhari's government more. Cabal. In fact, most of the cabals almost touched him, almost got to him, if not for God, who has made it possible for him to be where he is today. So we should learn from the past. Governing Nigeria is not easy. It's not like Lagos State. It's not like Ekiti. You should continue to make sure Nigeria stays together, but the men you have put in place must be held to account.
All right. So considering the monumental failure recorded by the Anchors Borrowers program, what do you think can be done to ensure that allocation to, small businesses does not suffer the same fate?
I just said it to you. You should look for men. He has men. He has reach across the country. You should look for men of integrity who will not mess him up. Deploy technology to make them accountable. Point of implementation is where we have problems in this country. That's the attitude. The moment he made scapegoat of certain people, others will sit up. It is my view that God will grant him wisdom and help him to see men that will work with him without messing him up.
So that will lead me to my next question, and strictly talking about full effective implementation. The president said the federal government is working closely with states and local governments to implement intervention for citizens. How do you advise it to go about this?
You see, the moment we do governance, we don't do party, we'll achieve it. Let him not be carried away, but it is APC members that must do it. Let it be qualified technocrats. Yes, I'm not saying party members where necessary should not work, but I'm saying for an average Nigerian now, who is no more a PDP or APC, who is looking up to Asiwaju as a president, he must engage them and look for men among men to do the needful for him. Because sometimes it is possible to pour water on your head and don't sit on the ground, though. Except it determines. And there must be a way to screen people. They must have this committee, like the World Bank, when they will award contracts, they will follow due process. When due process gets involved, the right people by 80% will get the right things done. You can't tell me if I don't have what it takes, I should come and lead that program. No. It's not a political program. It's the people's program, and they must leave it like that.
So we've talked about effective implementation. I would like us to now talk about transparency. Some analysts say there is need for transparency to ensure the success of these plans highlighted by the federal government. How do you think government can ensure this is not compromised by corrupt elements?
I said that already. I talked about attitude. I talked about the right people. Not leaving everything in the hands of politicians. Ensuring...
Is that realistic?
No, I'm not saying leaving everything. I'm not saying politicians should not be part of the process. There are technocrats who doesn't know you or know me as a member of any political party. You must bring in other members of other political parties into it because it's about Nigerians. People APC cannot reach, PDP can reach it, Labour can reach them. There are good heads I don't want to, please, let's get that very clear. They should reach out. Some will say we are not doing. Anyone who wants to work with you, work with them, especially when they have what it takes. I know a few individuals in this country who are good brains. We have gone past politics. This guy, what is his name? Omotoba, former Minister of Aviation, is a good brain. He's from Ekiti. Another person is this guy from Anambra, this former Corps Marshal from Anambra. What's his name again? Osita is good brain, has brain. Ashwaju needs to look for these people. Ask them questions. Because I'm not here to market anybody. Nobody is feeding me. I'm a former governor. Reasonably, I'm okay. But when we see materials, we must be courageous enough to tell you, Osita has brain. Omotoba, former Minister of Aviation, has brain. And a number of them, you know, when they gave this guy, this man, opportunity, he turned around agriculture. This man now at the additional. But nobody will go and look for an additional if you didn't give him opportunity. Yes. So I am saying that such people, they might be like Osita is in PDP, it matters not, because it's a service of our country. If you call him and say cannot work, fine. You don't have to. If he has ideas, invite them. If you have ideas, make use of their ideas. That's just my own take. Forget about, I'm in NTA, I am in YPP. My sister, a lot of people in other political parties will add value to this man.
So talking about some gains that have been recorded as a result of the removal of petrol subsidy, I mean, the president said the federal government has been able to save 1 trillion naira in 2 months. How impressed are you?
Very happy. Very, very happy. You know what I'm saying to you? A few people, you know, when the former Senate President, Bukola Saraki, was there, they said in the floor of the Senate that Nigerians don't consume that much of liters of PMS that we claim to consume. But they bring bills to be paid by the federal government in the name of those number of liters. At the end of the day, they found out. But now, by their suspension or removal of this subsidy, it's easier to save money. Because you can't continue. The last administration was borrowing money to pay salary, to pay subsidy. How will they survive? How will a nation survive? So this courageous man should be given the opportunity to continue to do well.
So Nigerians are calling for the arrest of the economic saboteurs mentioned by the president in his last speech. Do you support this idea?
You see, I have no objection. What I'm saying is that in the course of pointing fingers, the innocent should be excused. There should be no political victimization. There should be no reason to put people into trouble for whatever it is. So if they are looking for people who benefit wrongly from such dodgy ways, it must be a thorough investigation without political coloration.
All right, so which of the relief packages announced by the president do you consider the most critical for the country at this time?
They are all critical. Somebody, let me come back to this issue of somebody who gets like 8,000, 10,000 monthly. Let me say to you, when I was governor of Ekiti, I was giving 5,000 naira to almost 2,000 people. At a point, we moved it to 3,000. Understand? It was, you see, when things are not easy, the least of money you imagine will not make a difference, will be making that difference. A woman has told me that every month that 5,000, I'm talking about issues about 6 years ago, each time that money drops in my account, I send it to my son in school. You understand? So, for every situation, there's a reason to appreciate God and government.
So, Your Excellency, your friend, Governor Wike, has been nominated as a minister. Can we say he is still in the PDP?
Of course. Wike, listen, Bolaige was Obasanjo's Minister of Justice. Didn't leave AD. We're talking about Nigeria. Wike is an asset. I just said it now. I didn't even mention Wiki. I said there are other people in PDP, in YPP, in other political parties that can do great service to this country. I never knew you asked this question. Look, I am not going to tell you Wiki is this, Wiki is that. Wiki is a hard work horse, an achiever, a man who says, I want to do this, you'll get results. He's not the only one like that, but the instance case, Wiki is an asset to this government.
All right, so is former Governor Fayose also still in the PDP?
I am in the PDP. PDP say they don't want me, I'm in my house. I don't care. You see, at this age, I've said to you, I'm not contesting. I'm not looking for anything. One thing I want to tell the PDP, go back and look for everybody. Go and look for everybody. People are fighting, are grieved for certain things that has happened by the handling of their future. But we can't abandon our party to go and join APC, or God forbid bad thing. I, Fayose, will never, by the grace of God, go and join PDP. No. Go and join APC. That you me.
So how would you assess the administration of Governor Biodun Oyebanji?
The governor of Ekiti. I've said it before, that is the best hand we have for now. Oyebanji is doing very, very well. You see, one of the things that the young man is doing is to look for all the leaders of the state. We didn't do most of that. Fayemi don't even do any. In terms of go and look for, Fayemi is an Englishman, I am an Ekiti man, our ways are different. This man took part of Fayemi's way, took part of Fayose's way, took part of Adebayo's way, and forging ahead. He has chosen not to have any enemy. And I was in Ekiti for a function. I was in his car. He took me to see a few things. My sister, what I saw, I'm more than impressed. Oyebanji can't feed me. Me too, I have small change. I have small change. Ekiti does not have the resources to feed somebody like me. My mouth is wide. So, but when we see when somebody is doing well, I cannot hide it. If Oyebanji is doing well in an election, I will say go and vote for Oyebanji. Me. If Oyebanji goes off track, I will come to this station and say that Oyebanji is very, very bad now. So far, so good. He's doing very, very well. I endorse him.
All right.
And I endorse his.
So before I let you go, let me have your final message to Nigerians.
I've said more than the final message, and I'll still talk another day. The good thing I want to say in Nigeria, don't let them drag you to the street for no reason. Don't let them drag you to the street for no reason. Actually, you just got there.
All right.
North, south, east, let us be patient. They said those things that are not enough are still going to become plenteous. There's no miracle worker. The man has just assumed office. And another thing I want to say, that reminds me. I follow the tribunal. And I follow comments. I want to tell everybody, including Ashiwaju's camp, including Obi's camp, including Atiku's camp. All of you are saying you are the winner at the election. You have submitted to the jurisdiction of the court. You must be ready. Stop blackmailing the judiciary.
All right.
You must be ready to accept the outcome. If it doesn't go your way, then the judiciary is not good. So if it's Atiku they give, we will go back to the government house. If it's Obi, they will go there. If they don't give you two, you have to Bakamu.
All right. Thank you so much, Your Excellency. Former Governor of Ekiti State, Ayodele Fayose, thank you so much. Thank you so much for coming on Politics Tonight. Thank you, Your Excellency. It's an honor. And thank you very much for watching. That marks the end of today's episode of Politics Tonight. But the conversation continues from here. Get in touch with us on Twitter at TVC News NG and at Olajumoke OO using the hashtag Politics Tonight. We're also on YouTube at youtube.com/TVC News Nigeria. I am Olajumoke Olatunji. Goodbye.
Harpic sachets. It has a thick formula So all you need is just one sachet for your toilet bowl. It gives 10 times better cleaning and big savings too.
Wow, Helen!
Sparkling clean toilet with Harpic sachet.
It's not your regular show. It's an online interactive session where we share my views on the everyday issues that cut